Good day and welcome to the Prime Feed News. The Border Management Authority says it will work with other law enforcement agencies such as the South African Police Service, SAPS, the South African National Defence Force, and the South African Revenue Service customs officials, to ensure that all ports of entries are properly managed. This is millions of people will be coming in and out of South Africa. Border Management Authority Commissioner, Dr. Michael Masiapato, briefed members of the media in Pretoria about their festive season plans. Masiapato says they are ready to secure all 72 ports of entry. This includes increasing personnel and remote technical support at all 53 land borders, 11 international airports and 8 seaports. Formed a year ago, the BMA is tasked with a difficult job of protecting the South African borders from illegal immigrants and the movement of illicit goods, such as illegal cigarettes and stolen cars. But Masiapato is confident that they have prepared enough for the festive season. Our focus will be the delivery of an integrated, effective and efficient processes in the ports of entry, where only legitimate persons and goods will be allowed to enter and exit South Africa. To achieve this, ports of entry and the vulnerable segments of the borderline will be adequately guarded to intercept any transgressors, explains Masiapato. Hundreds of thousands of people will be leaving and coming into South Africa, and most will be doing it by road. The Beitbridge and the Lubombo border posts are said to be the most notorious and troublesome. Masiapato says they have put their focus on these ports of entry and that they will also deploy technology to assist them manage the fences. Newsroom Africa's Veronica Macaulay takes a closer look at the measures in place to ensure smooth and secure travel throughout the holiday season.
As the holiday season approaches, the South African Border Management Authority is preparing for a major surge in cross-border travel. Over 6 million people are expected to cross the country's borders during the peak months of December and January, marking one of the busiest periods of the year. With increased traffic, the focus will be on tackling a range of security concerns, from human trafficking to smuggling of contraband and illegal immigration.
Over the years, our top 10 ports of entry which facilitate the majority of the people has always been OR Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg, Beitbridge land port of entry to Zimbabwe and the rest of the continent, Lubombo port of entry to Mozambique, Caledon's Port, Fixburg and Maseru Bridge land ports of entry to Lesotho, Cape Town International Airport in the Western Cape, Oshuk land port of entry to Eswatini, as well as Kofontein and Grobela's Bridge land ports of entry to Botswana. Therefore, during the development of this plan, this historical trend has been taken into consideration, especially when considering areas requiring the deployment of additional resources.
Key among the preparations is the extension of operating hours at major ports of entry to ensure smoother flow for travelers and hopefully minimize delays.
During the planning phase, we, amongst other activities, conducted extensive interjurisdictional discussions with our 6 immediate neighboring countries of Lesotho, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Eswatini, as well as Botswana, in order to streamline border processes and coordinate our work modalities for this period. As a result, we have agreed to adjust operating hours at some of the key ports which do not operate on a 24-hour basis.
But this year, authorities face additional challenges, like a month-long post-election protest in neighboring Mozambique.
Lubombo port of entry remains very much volatile, and therefore we don't encourage people to laterally go around that particular area. And the reason why we are emphasizing this point is because even if there might be some few hours of stability, it can erupt at any time, and that is where our problem is. And that is why we are saying, even as we give an update now, we are operational in terms of the movement of persons. We are operational even in terms of the movement of goods. However, the Mozambican counterparts are saying they are not sure themselves what will actually happen.
In addition to overseeing the ports, authorities are placing a strong focus on vital corridors such as the N1 and N4 highways.
The biggest problem we have is on corridor. So that is why, as part of this planning this time around, we put a lot of effort in as far as corridor management is concerned. So we have also indicated that we do know our problematic corridors. N1 into Beitbridge, through into Zimbabwe and the continent, very much problematic. N4 corridor into Lebombo, into Mozambique, very much problematic. We don't have too much problems when it comes to N8, for instance, into Lesotho via Maseru Bridge and some bit of Fixback. So on that particular basis, for these two critical corridors, we had to make sure that we intensify our planning in as far as this part is concerned.
The BMA has admitted to facing serious staff and resource shortages as the further strain an already overburdened system. Still, it insists it's ready to tackle the challenge. For Newsroom Africa on Channel 405, I'm Veronica Mahwadi in Pretoria.